Vous êtes sur la chaîne panafricaine, bienvenue dans votre nouveau numéro de décryptage. Nous recevons M. Stephen Karingui, il est le directeur régional de l'intégration et du commerce au sein de la Commission économique des Nations Unies pour l'Afrique. Avec lui, nous allons parler en détail de la zone de libre-échange continentale pour l'Afrique. Vous êtes un économiste de renom sur le continent et dans le monde. Selon vous, que représente la ZLECAf pour l'Afrique?
It is a great opportunity for the continent. So maybe the best way to, first of all, start this conversation is to say, today if you try to trade from Nigeria as a member of ECOWAS, with Uganda as a member of the East African Community, or COMESA for that matter, there are tariff barriers. So the AFCFTA, first and foremost, is supposed to remove all these tariff barriers across the continent and create one market of 55 countries with 1.2 billion people. That's the first thing. But much more importantly, the AFCFTA has other protocols that are related to what we consider or what we know as trade facilitation. So it's supposed to make it easier for people and goods and services to move across the continent. So this again creates an opportunity. But if you are sitting as a government, one of the questions you ask yourself is, what will the CFTA help me to achieve? The first thing that the CFTA is supposed to help you to achieve, besides growing the intra-African trade, which is usually trade of very high quality compared to the kind of trade that we have with the rest of the world, the AFCFTA offers you an opportunity for transformation, leading to industrialization. It gives you an opportunity for creating jobs. And also it gives you an opportunity for an expanded base. So it gives you an opportunity, first of all, I'm talking of the government. So it gives you an opportunity for having an expanded base of a much larger private sector from where now you can harness resources to finance development as a Minister for Finance, for instance. Now, if I may, today we are talking about the pharmaceutical sector and the AFCFTA. Now, the pharmaceutical sector in Africa, as you know it, most of what we consume in medicines, most of it is imported. More than 70% is imported. We produce only 2% of what we consume, spending $14.5 billion every year in pharmaceuticals. The AFCFTA is offering us an opportunity to scale up the production of pharmaceuticals within this continent and giving us an environment where we can actually be able to move these medicines across the border in a seamless manner. So those are the opportunities that it presents, both for the private sector and also for the government.
La ZLECAf offre une ouverture du marché africain. Pensez-vous que cela constitue un avantage pour le secteur privé africain?
Precisely. Actually, the AFCFTA is supposed to also lead to what we call a common investment area. Now, these investments are not just going to be intra-African investments opportunities, but also FDI opportunities. So the AFCFTA will make it easier for African companies or African investors to invest and be able to have investments that are producing goods and services across border. But it is also going to provide an opportunity for foreign direct investments that would want to come here and take advantage of the one market that the AFCFTA is offering. Of course, all of us know the possibilities and the opportunities that FDI give, be it African or non-African, technology transfer, job creation, innovation opportunities. So essentially, that is what the AFCFTA will lead. It's supposed to harness and scale up investments and make the return on equity much more interesting and easier to get.
Comment la ZLECAf facilitera-t-elle la libre circulation des personnes?
Well, that's a very good question, because the AFCFTA will not happen on itself. It's also very interesting that the AFCFTA is also happening in an era where we're having a lot of digitalization. And that is why, first of all, we are saying, even before you travel from Burkina Faso to Kenya, if you are a small business, you should at least be able to use the digital space to trade or even to provide a service. But because also business people, investors travel across border, the AFCFTA would need to be complemented with the free movement of persons. In ECOWAS, they have a very good example of how free movement of people is happening. And I think through that, they're able to optimize the ECOWAS market. Now, the AFCFTA would also need member states. Those who have ratified the AFCFTA also need to ratify the protocol on the free movement of people, because it will allow them to reap the benefits of the AFCFTA much faster, and they don't have to wait for long, because businesses and people can be able to move across borders.
Le fait que l'Afrique possède plusieurs monnaies, est-ce un défi pour la ZLECAf?
Multiplicity of currencies, as it is now, has a cost. Now, if you are trading, even two African countries trading to each other today, they are paying a lot of commissions because they're using correspondence banking. Now, so the first thing we hope we need to do is that take advantage of the digital space once again and establish payment systems. Because now you can actually, we already have ECOWAS payment systems, we have COMESA payment system, we have East African payment system. We need to connect these payment systems so that at the end of the day, it does not matter your currency, because what we need to do is that at the end of the day, using a continental payment system, all we need to do at the end of the day is basically to clear our balances, and we don't have to worry about the commissions on whether you're using the euro or whether you're using the dollar in our trade. You can trade with your CFA, you can trade with your shilling, you can trade with your ECO once we have that in space.
Vous croyez qu'un jour, les Africains pourront voyager sur le continent sans faire face aux défis liés au visa?
By the way, we don't have a choice. That's something that we should have done a long time ago. If this generation is not going to do it, the new generation, the current generation that are being born today, they are going to make it happen. And why I say that this is going to be possible is because with the technology that we have now and the digitalization, I want to come back again to this issue. It is going to be much easier for governments, or even for security agencies for that matter, to be able to deal with the security question, because that tends also to be one of the issues that holds back countries opening up their borders. But if you look at the Visa Openness Index, you can see countries are improving. Every year we are seeing improvement as many and more African countries make it easy for you to land at an airport, get in without a visa, or get your visa on arrival. It is just a matter of time that we'll just be able to carry the AU passport, and with that we'll be able to move freely across the borders like they do in Schengen.
Vous avez un message particulier pour les jeunes du continent?
Well, the CFTA is here for them. In fact, the CFTA is an initiative, is a platform where the African youth can actually take advantage of. And it so happens that all the mega trades are in their favor. We are having urbanization, which is creating an ecosystem itself through which they can actually use the AFCFTA to design new goods, and they have a very big market through which they can be able to offer services and also offer goods that harness their technical innovation, because we actually have a very innovative youth culture in Africa compared to the old generation, and the AFCFTA is essentially their playground.